With adding analysis throughout the game as we get set for this match this afternoon. The United States has suddenly started to score goals. They went 7 games without a goal, and in the last 2 games, Coach, 4 goals. It's been great to watch.
Well, that's what this game is all about. If you're going to look attractive to the public and you're going to sell tickets, I believe you must score goals. And also, in order to win, you must score goals.
And that's exactly what they've been doing. Matt?
Coach, you've worked for many years with goalkeeper coach Joe Macknick, the mechanic. You have a good rapport with him coaching. Has it always been that way when you played for him at New Haven?
Most of the time, despite the fact that many times he threw me off the team, maybe 5 or 6 times, but we always were able to work out things, and I was always back on the team.
What can we expect today?
Well, it's going to be a tough match because Canada, are very unfortunate, made 3 bad mistakes to lose the game 3-0. In order for us to win the North American Cup, we must win by 4. So we're going to try to score that many goals to win the game. And I know Canada is going to come out as well as American team. Let's prove it to them that we can win the game. So it should be an exciting game.
Okay.
All right, so thank you very much, Coach, as we get set for the United States and Canada here from Torrance, California. We'll be back with the starting lineup right after we take this regional timeout. You're watching a World Series of Soccer on Sports Channel America. We get set for Canada and the United States here from El Camino College. Jim Donovan along with Matt Barr this afternoon. And Canada, disappointing effort against Mexico. What kind of team do you expect?
Well, they didn't play real well in that game, but watch the big man up front, John Catliff. He single-handedly beat both the U.S. and Mexico last year.
Here's the Canadian lineup that we'll see this afternoon. Here's the way it goes. In the goal this afternoon, they'll start with Paul Dolan. Dolan getting the start today. On the defensive back front for him, Diod, Bridge, Watson, and Ferguson. Then they go to the midfield, and it will be Lyndon Hooper, Jerry Gray, Jamie Lowry, and then up front, as Matt spoke about, John Catliff is the guy to watch. He has Grant Needham and Norm Odinga with him there. The United States has been playing very, very well. Can they keep it up?
Yes, they can, and it's essentially the same team. Clavillo had to go back to St. Louis, and Trichu will step in for him.
Clavillo back to his indoor season. Here is the United States lineup this afternoon against Canada. They'll stay with the hot hand in goal, Tony Miola. Then back on defense will be Paul Crumpy, Steve Trichu. Trichu came on in the game against Mexico, and Lexi Lawless will join them in the back. On the midfield, it will be Dyack, Henderson for the United States, along with Balboa, and also joining them, Peter Vermees and Bruce Murray. And then up front, it will be Eric Winalda and Dante Washington, who had the first goal in the first half against Mexico. We'll see what the USA can do against Canada. We'll be back with the opening kickoff from Torrance, California, right after this.
Making life a little sweeter. Making life a little sweeter. Making life a little sweeter. Making dreams a little truer. Life a
natural ingredients, then brewed and aged with extra care for that clean, crisp, cold taste. The taste only Budweiser can deliver. The king of beers.
International soccer comes Soccer International, North America's fastest growing full-color soccer monthly brings alive a world of great soccer action. Every month, through 70 pages of stunning photography, revealing graphics, and incisive commentary, Soccer International brings you international spotlight, star player profiles, coaching and refereeing tips, North American Soccer Report, and more. 12 issues, only $22.95. Soccer International.
Subscribe now, and you also will receive this outstanding aluminum coach's clipboard absolutely free, almost indestructible and easily erasable. You can plot key plays, detail strategy, and explain moves. As used by leading coaches and players worldwide, this aluminum board will give you years of use. Use it at every practice. Use it at every game. It would make a perfect Christmas gift. 12 full-color issues of Soccer International, plus a great coaching clipboard for just $22.95. Less than $1.91 per issue. Call toll-free 1-800-448-3242.
Welcome back, everybody, from El Camino College in Torrance, California. Just about set for the opening kick this afternoon. There's your referee this afternoon, Jose Ortiz. He's from El Salvador as he flips the coin for the two captains, Peter Vermees of the United States, settling in there with Jerry Gray of Canada. The United States dressed in white with blue trim. Canada will be in the all-red uniform. There is Bruce Twomley, the Canadian coach for this tournament here in the United States.
He's normally the assistant coach. The national team coach, Tony Waiters, is getting the under-23 squad ready for the Olympic qualifying rounds.
And you met John Kowalski off the top of the show, and John's done a great job with this United States team, really going with the offense, scoring goals, and that's his specialty. As a matter of fact, he's told us, Matt, off camera, he said, well, when we talked about the boost in offense, he said, that's what I should do. After all, I run those soccer camps that promote scoring goals.
He runs a half a dozen camps around the country, strikers scoring camp, and that's what they do. They shoot all day.
Glad you're with us on Sports Channel America this afternoon as Drew Ferguson puts the ball into the United States end. There's Steve Tritchu, back joining the United States national team from his experience in Czechoslovakia, playing for Sparta Prague.
Sparta Prague, that's right, and he leaves tomorrow to go back to his team.
After, what, about a 21-hour flight travel time into the United States, he played a little bit against Mexico. The long ball is played for Dante Washington down into the far corner and is played out of bounds. Kicking out of bounds here is Mark Watson, and it will be a throw-in for the United States.
This is a narrow field about 65 yards wide, so most of these throw-ins should simulate a corner kick from deep down.
Marcelo Balboa, who scored a great goal against Olympia of Paraguay in Tampa just last week, a week ago, when the United States won 2-0. Gets it in. Murray to Washington. The quick turn, and Winalda puts it off the back line. It will be a goal kick upcoming for Canada. As a nice setup by the United States.
Bruce Murray slipped the ball through to Eric Winalda and Dante Washington. Both of those two have a good nose for the goal. When they get a chance inside tight, look for them to put it away.
So it's Paul Dolan, the Canadian goalkeeper, playing the ball out, and Ian Bridge takes it there. Bridge plays it up towards midfield. Goes all the way through. Tritchu up to play the ball for the United States. It is kicked away, though, and Grant Needham starts back for Canada. The ball goes over the sideline, out off of Chris Henderson of the United States, and it will be a throw-in for Canada. We've played 3.5 minutes, no score. There's young Henderson from UCLA off the national championship team. With the ball, Grant Needham. Needham plays into the corner. Rolls in, and Miola makes the save. Now, in the games earlier this week, both against Mexico and Olympia of Paraguay, Miola has been called upon in the first minute and a half of each of those games to come up with spectacular saves, a chore that he has handled very well. He's had a very strong week in goal for the United States.
Yes, he has. He's come up with those big saves early so that you're not working from a deficit, and that set the tempo for both of those games. The United States stayed in it, scored goals, and either won the game against Paraguay or tied against Mexico.
Miola, a real field general from the back, as you see him moving the ball out of the area. Therefore, he must use only his feet. Plays the ball up, headed by Vermees, taken away by the Canadian defense. Back it comes over midfield. Lexi Lawless from the United States out of Rutgers plays the ball ahead. It goes to Chris Henderson. He is steered out of the play by Jerry Gray. The ball right at midfield comes back into the United States end. Paul Crumpy plays it up, off the head and out of bounds, off the head of Norm Odinga, and the United States will have a throw-in. Lawless quickly gets it in. That's one thing we notice about with Kowalski's team, both on corner kicks and throw-ins. They do it very quickly, Matt. They don't allow the defense to set.
Well, that's their style, to counterattack quickly so that they can move the ball upfield and catch them before the defensive zone shift.
Here's Troy Dyack. Dyack plays it down into the area, letting the ball out there for Bruce Murray. Ball goes out, and it will be, let's see, out off of the United States, out off of Murray. Murray with a great goal from 25 yards out against Mexico.
It was about 35 yards out, and it was a big shot with less than a minute to go to tie that game up. As we saw before the start of the telecast.
Great shot by Murray. Murray is the leading goal scorer for the United States national team. That was his 12th goal as a member of the national team. Crumpy in the sweeper position now this afternoon. Gets it right up to midfield. Nice turn. Ronaldo moves away from the oncoming Hooper to Troy Dyack. Dyack with some room. Near side, Balboa. Balboa into the area. Back flips it Murray. Plays it into the area. It's headed out, though. Canada tries to come back. Catlett with the ball there for Canada. Taken away by Balboa. Restolen, and the Canadians start out. Trying to get it out is Ian Bridge. Whistle foul called on the United States. The first of the afternoon against either team. As the United States rings one up, Marcelo Balboa called on the foul. And Canada with the quick kick down into the American end. Miola comes out and keeps it alive as he plays. Why did he do that now, keeping it alive like that?
So he can keep the ball in play. They can pass it around. They don't have to restart the ball. Now, one thing that you're going to see Canada try to do is slow the pace down. They're really not in good condition. They're not in the middle of their season like Mexico is, and the United States has been playing a number of games, so Canada needs to slow the pace down for them to be able to compete.
Viola with that strong leg. Flicks it over. Nice play. Henderson headed it into the middle, but it is taken back. Canada back with the ball. Catlett delivers to Lyndon Hooper. Hooper now will get it away from Dante Washington for 15 of the United States. Canada plays it right back into their goal area, and it is scooped up by Paul Dolan.
Another thing that you'll see the Canadians try to do is they've kept their teammates together on the professional teams that the Canadians have played for. For instance, up front, a number of Vancouver 86ers, Catlett, Lowry, and Odinga are playing together, former teammates, and trying to get a mesh going there.
Throw in for Canada at midfield. Jim Donovan along with Matt Barr here on Sports Channel America. I noticed right off the tip here we are having some problems with the scoreboard clock. Now the time is being kept down on the field, and roughly 5.5 minutes gone here in the match. So the scoreboard clock is having some problems. They've had all different kinds of time up there, but certainly we do not have 19:20 remaining. So we'll keep you updated. That's what we have running down on our broadcast. 5:48 played here in the first half, no score. So just to alert everybody to that. All right, Canada now trying to keep it into the American end, but Paul Crumpy sweeps it away for the United States, plays it up into an area where there are no Americans, and it is back played by Drew Ferguson back to goalkeeper Paul Dolan. So Canada coming out, and Matt, you saw the game against Mexico. Are they playing better here in the early minutes than they did against Mexico?
A little bit better. They're controlling the ball a little bit more. Again, teammates Hooper and Gray at midfield with the Toronto Blizzard. They're trying to keep those sections together so they can get a better feel for the game. They look really poor against Mexico.
Good crossing ball there by Catlett, trying to get it out in front for Lyndon Hooper. Miola intercepts, tries to spring Washington, but the ball goes over his head and over the head of the defender, Ian Bridge. Dolan, the Canadian goalkeeper, is out. There's the Canadian bench. Bruce Twombly, the head coach here for this tournament, as Matt said, he is not the head coach of the national team.
He's the assistant. Tony Waiters is the normal head coach for the national team. But they're not going to be playing any less hard.
The United States being handled by John Kowalski with Joe Macknick, his assistant here this afternoon. Right there, that's Ian Bridge.
Yeah, he's the most experienced Canadian on the field. He's got over 70 international games.
All right, back up now. Dyack running with the ball hard for the United States. Makes a nice play to keep it in, but a good steal. As playing the ball away was Patrick Diot. Diot will get it back. Murray with spikes high, and a foul called on Murray as he got his feet up in the air and came right at Diot. The quick set by Canada as you look at Bruce Murray. Let's watch it again now.
Now here's
Murray
the high foot by
up.
Bruce Murray. Yeah, you just don't want to show the bottom of the foot to another player. That's a very dangerous play, and ref will call that every time.
Catlett for Canada. Chipped away by Crumpy of the United States. Washington breaks down and has it. This is Dante Washington. He had a goal against Mexico. Lost the ball off his right foot. It goes out of bounds and a throw in for Canada.
You won't see much dribbling in the middle of the field. The sides of the field have been resodded, but the middle is very bumpy. So just like bad ice in hockey, you just want to use the ball to pass as opposed to dribble with it because it'll bounce up off your foot, lose control.
There you see it. The middle of the field really worn out. Patches of grass missing, but on the sidelines it is a little bit better and a little bit smoother. And out in front, in particular of the Canadian goal here in the first half, it is a little bumpy and without a lot of grass. Here's a dangerous opportunity, breaking in his Needham. He cannot get to it. The United States commits a mistake on the back, and rushing through was Grant Needham. He had an open goal but couldn't get to it.
Looks like a little miscommunication on the defense there. Ball comes through quickly, and watch the defender Little miscommunication, because Needham should have been marked at that point. It should have been man-marked. The ball was coming over. He comes free. Just got when the offensive man gets a step on you, you just can't make up that ground, so you got to stay with him. That's Steve Trichu, I believe, who was his man.
So the United States almost gives up the goal to Canada as Grant Needham had a wide open net. All he had to do was get to it and just flick it to the left, and it would have gone in, but the ball was just laid out in front of him too far. He tried to get there, diving over the end line. The United States fortunate to get out of that without giving up a goal. Sliding out now is Paul Dolan, the Canadian goalkeeper, to pull it away from Dante Washington of the United States. That was really, Matt, a bit similar to at least one of the goals against Mexico the other night that Mexico scored, in particular the one that got away from Fernando Clavijo of the United States when he was back in the sweeper position. And once again, with Clavijo gone now, for this game, the United States is playing with a new sweeper in Paul Crumpy.
Paul Crumpy's experience, and they might not need as much speed as Clavijo offered back there.
There's Paul Crumpy.
He's a good sweeper. He should control that.
Now Vermees on the sideline cannot keep it alive. And so once again, Paul Crumpy making the start at sweeper this afternoon.
Paul Crumpy was the captain of his UCLA team, and they won the national championship in 1985.
Lawless is really hit hard by Catlett of Canada. And we'll be back here, early moments of this match. First half, Canada and the United States are scoreless. Now this time out. Channel America from El Camino College in Torrance, California. It's the national team of Canada against the United States national team. We are scoreless here in the first half. Well, the Canadian players just threw the ball into the seats.
Wants to give his defense a chance to set up. They thought they had to throw in, but it was given to the U.S.
There's Troy Dyack throwing the ball in. Murray heads it. Rinaldo trying to make a turn. Does make the turn. Shoots the ball. Trying to get it, and Henderson tries to keep it alive. He does. Balboa. Well, good plays by the United States, but they were just not able to get a shot. But boy, Ronaldo made some really crafty moves inside the box, and Crumpy plays it back to Balboa.
That he did. It was a good play. Many players might have gone down on that. There was a slight penalty. They might have tried to get the penalty kick, but Ronaldo kept it in play, brought it back, got a good opportunity at goal.
Here's Miola now, throwing the ball down. Balboa got a head on it. Going over the shoulder. Lyndon Hooper nails Vermees, and yet Vermees is called on the foul. I think Lyndon Hooper might have gotten away with that one as he came right over the right shoulder. Let's watch that one again. Watch and see, Matt, if you don't see Hooper come over the back of Vermees.
Well, Vermees tries to duck down and use his body to shield. It was a good obstruction on Vermees' part, and 9 times out of 10 he'll get to retain possession of that ball.
Hooper now battling with Washington of Canada. The ball goes out, and it belongs to the United States. There's Lyndon Hooper. Chris Henderson sets it in. No score here in the first half. Dante Washington flicks the ball down the sideline. Ronaldo gives it to Henderson. Henderson to Vermees. Nice play from Self, and he is taken down hard, and I think they got Hooper that time.
Well, again, Vermees is using his body to shield the ball, and you can see him reaching back with the arm to try to protect the ball, and a defender gets frustrated. He'll pull him down. Hooper will pull him by the arm. Vermees, watch him reach out with the arm to try to hold him back, and then Hooper comes in, just kind of pushes him out of the way.
Set it in. Washington and Ronaldo both tried to get a head on it, and it goes over the end line. And it'll be a corner kick, the first of the match now for either team, and Bruce Murray will take it for the United States.
Look for Lexi Lawless again on the far post.
Murray sets it. Vermees had the ball skip up on him, so he had to knock it down. Plays it into the area. Lawless out in front. Look at Washington. He scores!
That's one of the corners that Coach Kowalski was working on, a short set to the front corner of the 18. Either take the shot or cross it in. You see Lawless bring the ball back, and Dante Washington with that nose for the goal rams it home again, just like against Mexico.
Washington scored America's first goal against Mexico late in the first half at the LA Coliseum on Tuesday night. Here early in the first half against Canada, he pops one in. And the United States, here it is again, man.
Now here comes the cross. See Lawless bring it in to Washington. Washington just with a head over the keeper, who cannot react in time.
So Dante Washington with his second goal as a member of the United States national team.
That's right. This is only his third game, and he's really making his presence felt. He's got good speed, good strength. He draws a lot of fire from the defenders.
1-0 for the United States. The goal by number 15, Dante Washington. All right, with the ball now, Canada turning it in. Once again, one more look.
Watch Alice bring this back and just quick with the head over the keeper.
And into the goal. So the United States leading 1-0. And as we come back, Tony Miola sets up for a goal kick. Bangs it down the field. Boy, he got a lot of that. And Washington streaks towards the ball. He's headed out of there, though, by Ian Bridge of Canada. Back with it, the United States. Ronaldo slips through. Into the area, Washington turns the corner beautifully, centers it, trying to get it to Vermees. It is banged out by Canada as Dante Washington is showing you everything he's got here today.
Another good setup by Eric Ronaldo to give it to Washington so he can bring it back. It almost slipped through to number 10, Peter Vermees.
It was played out by Canada in a very defensive set. The ball knocked out. There's Norm Odinga of Canada as Marcelo Balboa plays it into the box. Bruce Murray got knocked down flat on his back. And now Catlett tries to play it out for Canada, but Steve Tritchu plays it high on his chest for the United States. We'll set it up a little bit here now. Lexi Lawless. Dyak with a beautiful spin. Vermees now. Plays it into the corner. No dangerous play is rolling it back there was Patrick Diot. The goalkeeper, Paul Dolan, and almost slipping through was Eric Winalda to intercept, and he would have had an open goal.
Little confusion by Canada right now. As I've said, they've not been playing together, and they need to get some coordination. They've tried to put teammates together, both at midfield and up front, but they just don't seem to have that flow that you would normally get in a game.
Boy, Marcelo Balboa did everything to try and keep the ball alive. And yet play was whistled down and get called for a foul.
One of the things as a defender that you don't want to do is let the man turn with the ball. Dyak does a beautiful job in turning upfield and beating the man.
And that got the whole play started. Balboa intercepts with his head, plays it down into the Canadian end. Murray up in the air to fight for a ball against Lyndon Hooper. Here's Catlett with that big 6'3 frame. A nice steal by Paul Crumpy of the United States. Up to Winalda turning. Winalda looks like he caught a knee up in his thigh area on the charge there by Mark Watson of Canada. The United States leading 1-0. Dante Washington with the goal, set up by Lexi Lawless and Peter Vermees off a corner kick. The first of the match, and the United States has done very well on corners. As a matter of fact, that's how Washington scored against Mexico, Matt.
That's right.
It was off a corner kick.
Another set-piece play. This time the corner, on that time against Mexico, the corner went to the deep man, Lexi Lawless, who brought it in with a great shot on goal. Great save, and Washington got the rebound and put it away.
Here's Catlett playing the ball into the United States end. Balboa got a hit on it, but it rolls back to Tony Miola. Right now, what I notice in watching the Americans play, so much more confidence on offense. They went 7 games, remember, without scoring a goal, and now have 2 goals against Olympia, Paraguay, 2 against Mexico, 1 here early against Canada. Once you start scoring, it's like anything else. You get confident that you can do anything and put it in.
Well, once you start scoring, you're not afraid to take the shot anymore. You see the guys who normally might pass the ball on a shot, now taking the shot in traffic, because very often many of the goals come from rebounds, off of shots.
John Catlett is followed by Lexi Lawless of the United States.
Lexi Lawless is one of those defenders who says, lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Drew Ferguson will take the kick for Canada. Crosses the ball to the far post. Miola gets caught out of the goal a little bit. The ball sailed over his head. Henderson has it played off of a Canadian forward up in front. Nice play by Henderson, and we'll take a timeout here from Torrance, California. We're in the first half, and Dante Washington has scored to give the United States a 1-0 lead. We'll be right back. We're back at Torrance, California. We're at El Camino College, and it's 1-0. The United States in the lead over Canada. We're in the first half. Dante Washington has the goal for the United States, and almost just had another one while we were away. He was very close.
It looked like another good pass from Eric Ronaldo, who's been playing well for the United States in all these games. Although he's not had any goals, he's been a force up front. Eric Ronaldo.
Lyndon Hooper plays the ball to Jamie Lowry in the left corner. Lowry for Canada crosses out in front. Needham got a head on it. It's played out by the United States Henderson. And it goes to Jerry Gray. Gray over in the right corner. Running it down, Norm Odinga. working against Henderson. Crosses it out in front. Look out for Catlett. He got a foot on it. It's banged out in front. Dyack tried to get it out. He hit his own man with it. Canada keeps the pressure on. Odinga crosses it out in front. Dyack heads it away. Lyndon Hooper runs it down for Canada. And back plays it, and it's Ian Bridge with it. Bridge gets the ball up. Canada now starting to put some passes together. Balboa intercepts. Right below us now. Here's Eric Renaud. Ball moving well. It's it to Vermees. And Peter looks back. Steve Tritchu with it for the United States. Over to Lexi Lawless. Winalda back the other way to Murray, back to Lawless. Good control by the United States.
The United States is trying to spread the field out, spread the Canadian defense out. So you see them moving the ball back, moving it across the field, try to find an opening in there. Canadians are going to be clogging up the middle because they just don't have the fitness level that the U.S. squad does.
Ian Bridge working away from Dante Washington. A long kick down the field. Tritchu and Crumpy combine, make the steal for the United States, and they throw it back to the Canadian end. Quick turn and firing it out is Drew Ferguson. Catlett and Lawless battle for the ball. Very close quarters along the sideline, especially on the side where the benches are, right below us. Very, very close to where the field of play is, where it ends, that end line, and where that wall is.
That's right. You don't want to be making a hard move to the sideline. You'll run into the wall.
Here's an opening for Needham and a shot, and Miola's got to stay low on those shots because it's a little bumpy out in front of him, and he makes the save. He gives it out, and outbound. Here comes Paul Crumpy with it for the United States. They lead 1-0 on a goal by Dante Washington. And here's Washington right now. Tried to give it to Vermees. They did not connect. And the ball comes back to the United States. And here's Crumpy. Jim Donovan along with Matt Barr. Happy to have you along on Sports Channel America this afternoon from Torrance, California, as the United States ending a very busy stretch of time. 3 games in 1 week.
Paul Crumpy has been playing sweeper for the U.S. side, and he's the most experienced player for the U.S., or at least the oldest player out there. The U.S. needs to look for his leadership ability on the field. Paul Crumpy has been doing a good job in defense, and he's also now at sweeper. He's playing number 12 for the team, back to a sweeper position.
Lyndon Hooper tried to slip the ball out in front. Canada loses it. Here's Balboa getting the ball from Crumpy. Marcel lays it back. Murray had cut upfield. Catlett now cannot control for Canada, and Dyack has it go out off of him, and so it's a throw-in for Canada. Well, the United States playing with a very talented crew here, but a lot of their players right now are playing professionally abroad, like Desmond Armstrong.
Yeah, he's playing for Pele's old team, Santos in Brazil. He's going to get some good experience down there.
And you'll recognize a lot of the names from the American national team.
Yeah, there's Ernie Stewart. I think he's the top scorer in Holland right now.
United States leading 1-0 here against Canada. Dante Washington, the star so far here in the first half, and has the American goal, and Paul Dolan has had a busy last 10 minutes.
The Canadian team has a lot of international experience. I think with the team that they brought, they have over 400 international games between them. They need to use that experience to gain control of this game. So see them slow the pace down of this game.
John Catlett gets the ball off in the middle, and running it upfield is Jerry Gray. Gray across to Drew Ferguson. Now to Needham. Needham had a great opportunity for Canada. And an open goal, but could not catch up to the ball. And Bruce Murray knocks the ball out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for Canada. Actually, I believe it's going to be a foul called on Murray. Yes, it is. So he took down, as he went for the ball, Grant Needham of Canada. Canada now will try and set up. No, it's just a throw-in for Canada. Here's Needham. Boy, a nice slide there by Tritchu. Quick turn, the crossing ball, and Miola handles out.
Good save. Miola was in good position. He needs to get that ball so that they don't cause havoc back here.
Up in the air to knock the ball away from Eric Winalda is Mark Watson of Canada, so it's a throw-in for the United States. There's Crazy George.
Too many NFL games he's brought you to. Really disrupts the other team.
If there's a game, Crazy George is at it.
You know you've made it, and Crazy George is at your game.
Dante Washington slips behind the defense of Canada, and Paul Dolan has to come out and make the save. Matt and I will be selecting the Mars Milky Way World Series of Soccer MVPs this afternoon, one from each team. Mars Milky Way, a proud sponsor of the United States national team. Just another way Mars Milky Way makes life a little sweeter. 1-0, the United States in the lead. 25 minutes played here in the first half. Steve Tritchu steals on that top of the box as he took it away from Grant Needham of Canada. And Tony Meola starts it out for the United States.
There's Steve Tritchu, sporting his tan from Czechoslovakia.
Yes, sir. You can tell he has been playing over there. The United States team usually well-tanned as they train either in Florida or out here in California. And Tritchu arrived from Czechoslovakia. Here's one over. Looking for a shot. Taken down hard by Patrick Diaz. Play on.
Brown is looking for a foul there. It was a good defensive play. Watch the sliding tackle. As long as he gets the ball, it's a legitimate play. If he takes him down before he gets the ball, well, then it's a foul. It looked like he got the ball first.
Good strip now by Marcelo Balboa. Balboa plays it into the area, lets Washington go and run for the ball. It's played out by Canada. Is that what they try and do now, is to, this kid can really go get the ball. Dante Washington of the United States just laid out there for him?
That's right. Washington showed some experience there by knowing that the defender was in a no-win situation and letting him either play it out for a corner kick or a throw.
Wallace keeps it alive. And Dayak chases down for the United States. Troy Dayak sends it in. Up in the air is Lawless. A bunch of players go down. Bruce Murray along with Lyndon Hooper. He goes down.
Looked like Lawless brought all three guys down. That's from his hockey experience.
Kind of a domino type effect. And also John Capliff went down too. Here it is again.
Good ball to the far post. Lawless and Murray both going for it. Murray was pushed down by the Canadian defender, and then Lawless.
Corner kick, United States. Vermees now with it. Vermees to Tritchu. Oh, and Washington got knocked down, but no whistle.
Dante Washington looking to set up for a bicycle kick deep in the goal mouth.
Boy, he was all set up to do it. Looked like he had the leverage, and then he was knocked down.
Now here's the ball coming into Washington. Watch him trying to set up, and he gets shoved a bit by number 17.
Patrick Diaz.
Diaz, journeyman defender for the Canadian team. He's their man marker, so he's going to be watching Washington the whole game.
Lexi Lawless now tries to play the ball for the United States. Crumpy back, the ball slides, and it goes out off of Norm Odinga of Canada, so the United States will get it back in a goal kick. Dante Washington with the goal for the United States. His second in 2 games, and that's what they thought. Give him playing time and get him the ball, and he knows what to do with it up front.
The more playing time he's going to get, the more goals he's going to get. Obviously, he's just a good player. Needs to work on his skills somewhat, but he has a nose for the goal. He's been scoring goals, and they keep getting the ball up to him. He puts them away. Dante Washington is a player to watch for the future for the United States team.
Down the field, Lawless took the kick away from Paul Dolan. The ball goes out off of Lexi Lawless of the United States.
You'll see a lot more throw-ins today because it is
Behind that, Mark, tell me that you're going. Throw in now for Canada. Drew Ferguson to Capliff, trying to get it to Lyndon Hooper. Hooper battles with Balboa. Balboa comes away with the ball, gives it to Murray. Dayak tried to get over there quickly to keep the ball in play, but could not. Throw in again for Canada.
Canadians are marking a lot tighter than the Mexicans did, so you're not seeing as many free receivings of the ball when it's passed in there.
Dayak now controlling the ball. It's stolen by Capliff. Gets it away from Lawless. Loose ball, and here's Grant Needham. Needham into the deep left corner. Crosses. Watch out for Lyndon Hooper as he was busting through, and Balboa knocked the ball away from him. Quick throw in by Canada. And again, Needham comes away from 2 Americans. Sends the ball out in front, header, and that will go wide of Meola. As the ball was struck by Jamie Lowry of Canada. So Lowry had an opportunity as Canada put together about a minute and a half of pretty good action out in front of the American goal.
That's part of the 86er crew from Vancouver getting together between Capliff, himself, and Odinga. They've worked together before. They seem to be getting more and more effective as the game goes on.
Bruce Murray for the United States to Washington. Vermees trying to get the ball. Now they missed it as standing on the kick was Ian Bridge, and the ball rolls back to Paul Dolan, the Canadian goalkeeper.
Well, that might have been intentional. He might have let that go.
I think you're right.
He's got a lot of experience. He normally wouldn't fan on a kick like that.
John Capliff turning for Canada. Big, strong player, and he gets by Chris Henderson. Paul Crumpy is there to direct the ball up into the seats. We've played close to 30 minutes here in the first half. Canada and the United States. Foul called on the United States. Steve Tritchu.
There's a big man, John Catlett, number 9. He scored all 3 goals in last year's game against Mexico and the United States. 1 against the U.S., 2 against Mexico. He's a powerful forward who does score maybe a goal on every 5 shots that he takes. I think he's scoring on average 2 goals every 3 games right now.
Dangerous situation now for the United States as they set the wall up now. There you see the wall. It's a 4-5-man wall.
See the U.S. setting up the wall to protect one half the goal, so Miola only has to cover the other half of the goal. It takes a lot of courage to protect the vital part of the goal and the vital part of yourself in this wall.
Jerry Gray is over the ball right now, and then Peter Vermees is running back to make sure. What's he doing that now? He's running back to make sure that everybody is all set up in the proper area.
He's setting up the wall so it's not out of position, so no part of the goal is uncovered.
Catlett now moves towards the ball. The official blew play in. He's telling him to take it. Catlett still balking, now takes it, and sends it well over the goal. Kind of anticlimactic right there as John Catlett sends one out of play. The United States continues to lead 1-0, and we'll be back right after this. Jim Donovan and Matt Barr at El Camino College in Torrance, California. We've played 32 minutes coming up to that mark right now here in the first half, and Dante Washington has the goal for the United States, leading 1-0 over Canada as Grant Needham controls for Canada.
The game's starting to get a little physical out there. There's a lot more pushing and shoving going on. Canada was embarrassed by Mexico in that 3-0 loss, and they're a little upset. So they don't want the same thing to happen tonight. They don't want to see this game slip away from them. So there's going to be more physical play out there.
Ball thrown in, Canada. Balboa steals and plays it back to Tony Miola. Hanging around the back there with Balboa, trying to scoop up a loose ball was Jamie Lowry, but couldn't get to it. So the United States continuing to put the ball in the back of the net, something that they struggled to do for 7 games, but in this last week, really since John Kowalski has taken over the team, they've been popping the ball in, scoring goals. Now, Lyndon Hooper with a good run for Canada. Plays it up for Grant Needham. Needham and Catlett and Hooper will all break towards the American end. Here's Catlett giving the ball to Lyndon Hooper, working on Lexi Lawless of the United States. Now it's to Needham. Needham pushes the ball. Jerry Gray to Ian Bridge. Bridge with the shot. Over the goal and out of play. Goal kick for the United States. Nice play, though, by Canada.
That's right. Bridge trying to get something started. He played the last 4 years in Switzerland for the Show de France. And he's been playing very good ball. I think he's played for the national team with Canada for what, the last 11 years.
So there he is, Ian Bridge with the shot over the goal. And the scoring opportunity for Canada, definitely their best playmaking here in the first half and of the game.
He's 31 years old now, and he might be getting a little old for the next World Cup in '94, but we might see him in '94.
And the World Series of Soccer continues on Sports Channel America from the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. Sunday, May 5th, Uruguay and the United States, and that another great test for the United States in this World Series of Soccer as they continue to play the best in the world.
They're playing a world-class schedule. Not only are they going to play Uruguay, but they have AC Milan coming up, Ireland, good teams.
Norm Odinga with a long run for Canada, and the ball goes out of bounds. Play continues here in the first half, and we'll be back. 1-0, the United States in the lead. Matt Barr, as we come back here, a yellow card is being given to Mark Watson of Canada for a hard takedown against Dante Washington of the United States right at midfield. So there's your referee, Jose Ortiz, giving his first yellow card of the day.
That's right, and it's a difficult takedown on Dante Washington here because he didn't even try for the ball, just took his legs out. Bruce Murray with a good header trying to bring it into the middle to Dante Washington. That's the first yellow card for Watson. If he gets another, he's out of the game, and then Canada will have to play a man short for the rest of the game. Once you get thrown out of a soccer game, you play short. 10-man, 9-man, it does not matter.
That happened to Mexico against the United States. They had a player sent off in the final minutes, so the United States really had a man advantage. Now the United States trying to defend here. A high bounce, look out. Even got a header on it. rolls into, or lays right into the arms of Miola. Plays the ball down, back into the Canadian end. Controlling it, pushed. Ball comes away and kicked out.
Needham down with the headbutt with Trichu. They're both holding their heads, but that was a... when you head the ball back, he's trying to skip it back. Trichu's behind him. You headbutt each other. It hurts a lot.
So Grant Needham of Canada down right outside the penalty area of the United States. Let's go back now and see the play. That's Trichu for the United States and Needham of Canada.
They're both going up. You can see the heads collide. Fortunately, it didn't split. Those head wounds bleed a lot, so the skin just did not split open. That's good. They'll have a headache in the morning.
Boy, actually, I'll tell you what, it looked like Trichu took a lot of that, too. And Needham now just starting to get up. He immediately went down as the play went down to the other end of the field. One of his Canadian teammates comes over, that's Jerry Gray, to hit him on the back of the head. That will take the pain away from the front of the head, I guess.
Well, a lot of time you have a magic sponge for your trainer. Looks like they might want to replace him. Still a little woozy. It's Gilbert there that you see warming up. He might come in. Hard to say.
Now it looks like Needham's going to stay on the field.
I'm surprised the ref stopped the game. Usually the game goes on even with a man down. Must have been because the ball went out.
Grant Needham of Canada, okay to remain in the game. The United States on the throw-in. Bruce Murray. Down into the right corner. And safely it's played over by Patrick Diot to Paul Dolan, the goalkeeper of Canada. The United States leading 1-0 on a goal by Dante Washington off a corner kick. The first of the match, and the United States connected on it. Vermees got the ball over to Lexi Lawless, who headed it into the area, right into the middle of the penalty area, and it was headed in by Dante Washington. This program is a copyright presentation of Soccer USA partners and Sports Channel America. Any use of the pictures and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Soccer USA partners and Sports Channel America is prohibited. Jim Donovan, Matt Barr, our director today, Ted Nathanson, our producer, Jim Maroney, here from Torrance, California, as we watch Paul Crumpy of the United States getting the ball out to Tony Miola as Canada had put the ball out of play.
Miola comes from that great Kearney soccer tradition in New Jersey. A lot of teammates played with him. Kearney, excuse me.
Miola now with the ball for the United States. Gets it up to Lexi Lawless. To Steve Trichu. And Trichu with a lot of open space. Catlip only comes in now to play him. Up to midfield of Vermees. Back to Lawless. Drops it down, and here's Diak, who's made some nice moves today. To the right corner, good ball, and Balboa crosses it out inside. Murray going hard for it on his knees to try and get it, and it's played out by Canada. Boy, did Murray go for that one.
Yeah, it looked like the field bit him there. He stumbled a bit on the rough field and just couldn't keep his feet under him.
So Bruce Murray, who had that exciting goal against Mexico to tie the game up, tried to get another goal here. Let's watch that again because he was on his knees going for that ball.
Murray just loses his feet on this pass by Balboa. Hard to see from that angle, but that's indeed what happens. Sometimes you just get stumbling, you can't get your feet under you.
Trichu gets the ball down to Vermees, to Dante Washington. Now to Balboa. Looks right to Vermees. United States leading 1-0. Balboa, good ball down into the corner, and Diak runs to it. Washington, let it go by him. I think he thought he had Winaldo setting up for a shot, but look at Washington come back and steal. All over the field here in the first half. Vermees lets it go. Save, goal, rebound. Washington just wide on the header.
Again, good shot by Vermees there. He takes his shot in traffic. Keeper can't hold on to it. Washington's there trying to get the rebound. There's Ronaldo. Washington with a good follow-up on Vermees' shot. Washington takes the ball away, tries to slip the ball up to Peter Vermees. Good pass back. Now Peter's going to pull the trigger. Washington still following up the shot. Good hard shot. Washington almost gets another follow-up goal.
Now the United States right back to it. Vermees lays another ball down into the corner. Ian Bridge comes over to try and play Diag. They battle for the ball in the corner. And it comes loose, and the ball is played by Drew Ferguson. That should be stolen, and is by Balboa. Catlett battles with Wallace. Wallace keeps it in nicely, then plays it off a Canadian defender and out of bounds. And quickly, the ball will be thrown in by the United States. Balboa gives it off to Lexi Lawless.
The U.S. smells some blood. Everybody's pushing up forward deep. See Dyack up there in the corner where he's not normal.
Here's Washington again. Battles with Ferguson, and Ferguson got it loose to Needham, got it away from Tritchu, but Tritchu comes back to make the play, and Dyack pushes forward again. Winalda, that beautiful ball handling by the United States. Lawless. Here's Murray to Washington, and it rolls in on goal, and Dolan makes the save. Again, a nice 2 or 3 passes by the United States ends up in a shot on goal. And Dante Washington has been sensational here in the first half. He has the American goal. He almost had another one on a header he just put wide. And the United States putting all the pressure, having much the better play here in the first half against Canada. Now Ian Bridge with it. It's when Alder really challenged him on the ball. Gets it ahead, and Diot starts up towards the middle. Near side. Jerry Gray, bumped by Peter Vermees of the United States, who waves his arms and says, I hardly touched him. But the whistle by Jose Ortiz, the referee here this afternoon, and the foul called on Vermees. Jerry Gray, captain of Canada, wearing that blue band around his left shoulder. See the United States set up now. Don't want to give up a late one here in the first half. All played out by Chris Henderson as he knocked the ball away from Norm Odinga, who will now throw in for Canada to Ian Bridge. Murray steps in front of that. He bangs it out of bounds, too, and high into the seats here at El Camino College. Bruce Murray, 12 goals now as a member of the national team. None really as thrilling, I don't think, as the one he scored the other night, at least with the scenario being in the closing seconds against Mexico. The United States pushes it out. Washington plays the ball ahead, looking for Winalda. Played away, though, by Diot. Out of the final 2 minutes here in the first half. Ian Bridge crosses for Catlett, but Steve Tritchu steals for the United States. Henderson starts ahead. Pushed down by Ian Bridge, although the referee says that Henderson fell down on his own accord and no whistle. Now it's Jerry Gray for Canada. Canada lost in the LA Coliseum 2 nights ago to Mexico 3-0, so they have a lot to make up for. Balboa goes head over heels as he was knocked down by Jerry Gray in the foul on Canada's Gray. Here's Marcelo Balboa. Here it is once again. Balboa in the midfield. Playing well there, but he goes head over heels on the knockdown by Gray and whistled down the foul, and another foul. Drew Ferguson takes down Peter Vermees. He winces with pain on that left shin, and the foul called on Ferguson. So play is, as Matt said, getting a little physical. 2 knockdowns in a row now. First Balboa, and now here's Vermees. And you see Vermees going down right here.
He really gets kicked
Ferguson.
hard in the ankle here, Jim. Very painful.
Okay, there's Ferguson. On the throw-in by the United States, the ball really sails. Winalda takes a hard shot and hit the crossbar. What a shot by Eric Winalda as he blasted it and hit the crossbar. Lawless kicks it in. Then watch Winalda off to the header here. Watch him set it up, and boom, right at you now.
Winalda with a good left foot shot here.
Hits the crossbar and goes out. Eric Winalda with a glittering chance for the United States. Ian Bridge now plays it up now to Lyndon Hooper, to John Catlett. Back to Bridge. Bridge now clears it across, and it goes to Jerry Gray. Gray starting out. Balboa plays him, running through the middle, and trying to slip through there was Norm Odinga. That was a dangerous play. The United States, there was a bit of space, and Odinga had an opportunity. Lyndon Hooper now will throw in for Canada. The United States leading 1-0. Canada trying to tie this game up. Bruce Murray steals away for the USA. And that far left wing now, starting up Henderson.
With the U.S. pushing so many guys forward on offense to try to score the goals, they must be careful back in the defense because you will be thin. You'll be in one-on-one situations, 2-on-2. So they must be careful or get back on defense quickly on the return Canadian counter thrust.
Throwing the ball in right now will be Norm Odinga as we are down now to the final seconds here in the first half. Odinga throws it. And there's the whistle, and in fact, that is the end of the first half here from Torrance, California. So the United States with a strong first half offensively, and they lead by a count of 1-0 on the goal by Dante Washington. There's your goal scorer. He almost had another one, as Dante Washington was a tremendous star here in the first half for the United States. They lead 1-0 as Paul Dolan, lucky to get out of here after the first half for Canada, the goalkeeper, with the 1-0 deficit. All right, let's go down to the field right now. Matt Barr with United States assistant coach Joe Macklin.
Joe, again, another set-piece play, but this time a twist on the corner kick. Set it up to the short corner, to the short 18, and then bring it up.
That's our second goal on corner kicks in this tournament, so we're having a bit of luck with it, and we're happy to get that goal, but we need 3 more in the second half if we're going to take the trophy home. The makeup of the tournament is that we got to win this game 4-0.
You have to be encouraged with the play of the team right now, but are you going to try to do anything different in the second half to try to get these 3 goals that you need?
Well, I think our advantage is that Canada played 36 hours ago and that they haven't had that much rest. We're going to continue to play in the same fashion. We're playing well. The opportunities are there. They might get a little tired in the second half.
Lawless gets into the picture.
Cross by Vermees. Lexi Lawless brings it back with his right foot. Then you see Washington, rather than try to drive the ball down, just skip it with his head over the keeper who's frozen right there. Doesn't know if it's coming high or low, and it puts him in a no-win situation.
Beautiful goal by Washington, his second in the last 2 games, as he opened up the scoring for the Americans against Mexico back a couple of nights ago at the Coliseum. Now, let's go to this situation right now, as in the American end, it was some pretty good play. Canada came on late in the match, but then the United States comes on even later, and Eric Winolda will one-time one right here.
Yes, this is a good drive by Eric with the left foot on a full volley. Hits the post. You see that volley come dip down on the shot. Left foot shot for him is a difficult shot, and he's done a great job with his shooting.
I'm amazed he ever got it off.
Winolda's been playing good ball, and I would like to see him get a goal because the last 2 games he's really been all over the place playing very good soccer.
All right, let's see that one more time. Once again, just the skill for him to get this shot off is really amazing.
Ball come across his face, and he takes the left foot shot, full volley, and watch it dip.
Right off the crossbar, and the United States went off the field upcoming in the spring. They're trying to qualify right now. Most feel they will, as the United States women are very highly ranked in the world. We asked them what the difference is between the women's game and the men's game.
Well, the women play at a slower pace, and a lot of people think that the game can be a very attractive game played at that pace because it becomes a more tactical game.
The women's game, I think, is a more tactical game. We have to rely on our tactics, our smarts, and our skills, while the men rely on more power and speed to win.
Well, the speed's great with the women's game, but the power in the men's game is incredible. The men's shot is totally different from the women's shot.
How?
The men's shot is more of a torpedo. The women's shot is more of a looping. It's different for a goalkeeper.
The United States women, yes, they are professionals indeed, but it is a different kind of profession. Most of them have not only their soccer careers, but other careers too. When would they recommend starting their soccer careers to others?
Obviously, the earlier the better. I was a late starter myself just by nature. I've been lucky to catch sort of the wave of the growth of the sport. But obviously, the earlier the better, but it's a sport where if you want to develop, you're going to develop, so I don't feel it's ever necessarily too late.
The younger the age, the more fun they have to have, and I think a lot of people are worried about being so serious at a young age. And when I was growing up, luckily I was in an environment where they're smart enough to know when you're a young player, you should be having fun. When you get older, it becomes more competitive and serious.
You theoretically are a professional. How much do you get paid for this?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
No.
Do you think that's going to change?
We hope so, but even if it doesn't, we wouldn't be here if we didn't love it. They pay for our food. The Federation pays for everything that we need right now, so they're taking care of us. So there's no complaints there. I mean, it's great.
You're a teacher, so you have an extra salary.
Right.
Can anybody get by just playing soccer?
I've done it. I did it through college, and I did it up until...
He was captain of his high school hockey team in a tough sport. Watch this play. Lawless has to come up with a play, just gets knocked knocked hard to the ground.
That was John Catlett. John Catlett of the United States, of Canada, with the knockdown right there. We're underway, second half here from Torrance, California, the United States, leading 1-0 and trying to add to it. And once again, showing the posture of going forward right away. Dyack with it now, right on that sideline. Far sideline, pushes through, beautiful ball. Got it through Murray to Vermees, rather. And the ball is headed out. Balboa up to contend, and does. Balboa with a shot, and that goes over the goal. Goal kick for Canada, but the United States right away. And now let's take a look at the first half stats, as the United States were only with 5 shots, but really the quality shots were much better by the United States.
Look at the number of the fouls between the two teams also. It is a physical game and getting even more physical as the game progresses.
On the scoreboard, the United States leading 1-0 on the goal by Dante Washington in the first half. Washington almost had another goal on a header that just went wide, on a flurry of activity in front of the Canadian goal. And then the shot that hit the crossbar that we showed you during our Budweiser halftime report by Eric Winalda, on a gorgeous shot by Winalda. Dyack stealing at center. Catlett gets the ball back for Canada. Canada looking for their first goal now after they were shut out by Mexico 2 nights ago, 3-0. And now scoreless here in the first half against the United States. Ian Bridge playing the ball away from Washington.
Canada does not want to lose control of this game, so watch them again slow the pace down so that they can pass it to one another and not let the U.S. use their speed and superior physical conditioning.
Steve Tritchu plays it down for Eric Winalda, knocks it down nicely. Gives it to Peter Vermees. Ball is knocked away, though, by Drew Ferguson. Canada on the break. Catlett plays it in the middle. Ian Bridge sends it up into a vacant right flank. And Crumpy gets the ball back. Miola must come out to pull that away, as Grant Needham was coming right down the pipe, number 16, right at Miola.
Not much dribbling at midfield because that field is a factor. It's making the ball bounce a lot. It's just not in good condition right in the middle of the field. Look at that whole midfield stripe right up the center of the field. It's just a mess.
Tony Miola throws it down, and it goes to Marcelo Balboa. Balboa battles with Murray. Murray got it to the head. Is Vermees turning with a quick left footer, and the shot goes wide. Crowd oohing and eyeing as Vermees had a lot of spin on that one, and it goes wide of the goal.
Good shot by Peter, number 10, Peter Vermees. He's been accused lately of not pulling the trigger, hesitating on his shots. He's taken every opportunity he's had today and tried to take a good hard shot. Some rebounds played by Dante Washington from his shots. Peter Vermees is pulling the trigger today.
Paul Dolan, the Canadian goalkeeper, with the goal kick after Vermees' shot went out of bounds. Dyack steals for the United States ahead to Vermees, and they push it right back down into the Canadian end. And that will go over the goal line, and another goal kick upcoming for Canada.
Now, Dolan was the youngest goalkeeper ever to play in the World Cup, and I believe that was in 1986. He played a good game in which the Canadians lost to France 1-0. They have high hopes for this keeper.
Ball is played at midfield. Lexi Lawless now trying to get it back for the United States, and it's knocked out by Lawless. So Drew Ferguson will throw it in for Canada. Gets it in. Catlett battling Lawless, and the foul is on Lexi Lawless as they try and get the ball in for John Catlett.
Number 2, Steve Tritchu, coming back from Sparta Prague in Czechoslovakia. You think playing overseas is easy? Well, he's getting paid in crowns, the currency over there, and his wife has to wait in line with all the rest of the Czechoslovakians just to get the basics, just to get food. It's a tough life to play overseas.
Canada right now setting up for the direct kick. Catlett into the area, up in the air to try and get a hit on it was Mark Watson. He did, but put it out of play, and a goal kick the other way for the United States. So Watson using his size. Canada has some very tall players, not only Catlett, but that player Mark Watson too. And they go to the goal as they play in the air.
That's right, a number of 6-footers. Catlett is, what, 6'3"? A lot of big people up front for the Canadians.
All right, the ball is out off of the United States. Throw in by Canada. Jim Donovan, Matt Barr on Sports Channel America this afternoon. Canada and the United States. 1-0. The Americans in the lead. Lyndon Hooper with it for Canada. To Catlett. Knocked off him by Steve Tritchu, and Dante Washington being ripped out on the shirt by Mark Watson. And now Jerry Gray with it for Canada. The foul called on Washington for reaching in on Gray. We're going to redo that one over as Washington was too close to Gray.
Washington trying to take the ball away, and again, you have to be aggressive here. You don't want the man to turn, so he's in tight. Foul was called, just a little bit too much pushing by Washington.
Ian Bridge plays it right into the area. Trichu heads it out for the United States. The game being played right on everybody's forehead. Needham slips it through, trying to get it ahead to the Canadian captain, Jerry Gray, but it is knocked out, and it goes out off of Chris Henderson of the United States. There's John Kowalski on the American bench, directing things. Wants some more goals, I'm sure, here this afternoon.
That's right. His style is attack, attack, attack. Don't let up. Keep taking shots. That's why he has the half-dozen soccer striker camps.
Lexi Lawless will throw it in. He hit a piece of the American goal. Ball goes out of bounds. Thrown again for the United States. Play a little ragged here in the second half. Ian Bridge now for Canada. Sends it way far ahead, and the ball is stolen away by Dyack to Vermees. Nice ball ahead for Balboa. Takes it beautifully away from Bridge. Marcelo Balboa turns again. A beautiful move by Balboa, but he put it too far out in front of himself, and it goes over the goal line, and it will be a goal kick for Canada. We'll be back. It's 1-0, the United States in the lead over Canada. From El Camino College in Torrance, California, Jim Donovan along with Matt Barr as the United States leading over Canada by a count of 1-0. John Catlett on the throw-in by Canada, trying to get the ball away from Paul Crumpy, but he cannot, and Crumpy clears the ball out of danger for the United States, and Dante Washington delivers the ball on the run. Henderson takes it for the United States, and it's pushed down hard. Norm Odinga knocked him down, a foul on Odinga.
Because of the narrow field, Chris Henderson is having a difficult time finding the game. He has to come into the middle to get this ball, tries to get control, but Hooper does not want them to control midfield. Gets nailed by number 7, Odinga.
Trichu with it for the United States, and some room, and lets it go. Why not? With that bumpy area out in front of the goal, you never know when you can get a bad bounce, but Dolan handles for Canada. Paul Dolan in the goal. Has been beaten once. He got some help from a crossbar over his head on the shot by Eric Winalda just before halftime. But you know, Matt, this is a bit of a dangerous game right now because it's only 1-0, and Canada is still very much in the game. You never know. The Americans have not put Canada away, although they are really the far superior team out there.
I don't think you'll see the U.S. stop their attacking style, and it is getting physical. There's a real feud developing between Lawless and Catlett up front for the Canadians, and there is no love lost between those two players. Let's see if we can find a look at the confrontations between those two men.
All right, as we get ready for that play goes on right now. Troy Dyack has it for the United States, and he is taken down as he is knocked down by Jamie Lowry. Dyack took a hard tumble down near midfield, and there is the rough and tumble Jamie Lowry of Canada. Earlier in the game, he had a scoring opportunity. They have not had many.
No, they have not, but they've had good chances. They've taken good chances at the goal.
Lawless. Balboa got a head on it. Washington and Winalda there, along with Vermees. A foul called on the United States.
Another player you're seeing up front an awful lot is Marcelo Balboa. Usually in his defensive midfield position, he's been pushing forward to try to make things more things happen up front.
So there is Marcelo Balboa. Had a great goal against Olympia of Paraguay last Saturday night in Tampa, Florida.
Yes, he did, and he's a stabilizing factor at that midfield. Does a good job in the defensive midfield, but he's pushing up a lot because the Canadians are giving room.
Handball called on Bruce Murray. Ball bounced up, and the handball is called on Murray, so play will come out into the American end. There's Marcelo Balboa.
He's a senior at San Diego State University, majoring in criminal law. The way this play is going on today, he's going to need that criminal law.
Ian Bridge on the shot. Looked into the area. Look out. Shot saved. Miola on the header by Lowry. Canada continues the pressure, and a foul called on Canada. Catlett gets whistled for the foul.
Miola almost got caught on the same play that the U.S. scored on. Again, on that play, Washington tried to slip it over Donlan's head and did, On this, Miola was up to the challenge. Ball tried to be skipped over his head. Miola goes up, slaps it away. Good defensive play against Lowry.
So Canada now with their best scoring opportunity of the afternoon on goal. Now the United States will try and come back the other way. Murray got the ball over on the right. Eric Winolda. Fancy footwork just outside the area. Takes it to the corner, looking to cross. Now here's Washington. He does cross it out of front, bound forward to the goal, but he can't get there in time. Nice creative setup, though, by Washington, trying to work the cross there to Marcelo Balboa.
Washington and Winolda have worked well since the get-go. They played a practice game against USF down in Florida, and they combined for 7 goals. I think Dante Washington had a hat trick. Winolda had a couple goals and a couple assists. Good game. They work well together.
Canada now back with the ball in the midfield. Send it back on goal, and Dolan down there to knock it down with his hands. United States in the lead by a score of 1-0. Steve Ritchie, the ball bounds away from him. Lexi Lawless will battle Catlett, and there's that battle that Matt spoke of going on, and another foul on Lawless. Quickly they set it in, and Jerry Gray, the Canadian captain, out in front to Grant Needham with the header. Knocked away by Henderson. Murray knocks it away for the United States, and Chris Henderson with a burst of speed, and this is his specialty. Gives it right at midfield. Murray and a good run upfield by the United States. No foul as Murray was knocked down on the play by Norm Odinga. Lawless pushes it ahead. Sorry, Matt.
Well, the ref thought there was advantage there. Murray did get the pass off before he was fouled. So he lets the play go on.
Ball played into the area, and out of bounds it goes. And they call it going out, and it will be the Canada ball as Chris Henderson was wrapped up right in the area.
Well, this foul could have gone either way. It looks like Henderson might have pushed him down, pulls him down. Haven't seen a lot of Chris Henderson tonight, mostly because it's a narrow field. His speed needs to be shown on a wide field where he can run and motor and use his great fitness and speed.
In the air now, Balboa. Of course, for the United States is being pressed from behind by Grant Needham. Delivers the ball down in the right corner, and Dante Washington will now try and create. Washington working against Patrick Diop. Sends it into the area. Henderson went busting through. Loose ball scooped up for Nice. Tries to cross, it's blocked, and that will be a corner kick for the United States. As the ball goes out off of Norm Odinga. Quickly they set it in on the corner. Murray. Get a lot on that, and it went right to the top of the box, and then it's cleared out by Canada out of bounds, and a throw-in for the United States. Remember, we have our Mars Milky Way MVPs coming up. Mars Milky Way, a proud sponsor of the U.S. national team. Just another way Mars Milky Way makes life a little sweeter.
There's Chris Henderson. A lot of speed. Got to practice this week with his brother Sean, and Sean let him know that Sean wants to be playing on this team by beating him a couple times in one-on-one situations.
Henderson is a projected player for the United States Olympic team. Because he's such a young player, he'll be in that category that the ages fall within, that you're capable of playing for the Olympic team. Henderson, a fine player out of Everett, Washington, by way of UCLA.
That's right. Henderson is a good player, and I'm not sure anybody's ever seen Henderson get tired. He has that kind of speed and fitness.
Beautiful sliding steal by Marcelo Balboa, and Bruce Murray runs through the midfield. On that far side, Vermees, Dante Washington. Washington has the ball stolen away, and a good play there by Patrick Diop, but Vermees battles back, and now a holding battle between Diop and Vermees, and they whistle down Diop.
Diop's the man marker, and it's his responsibility to make sure Washington doesn't get another goal. His only job is Washington for today.
Troy Dyack, as we have played 15 minutes here in the second half. Dyack sends it into the area. Murray got a head on that. Knocked out by Canada. Jerry Gray keeps it on its way out to Lyndon Hooper. Hooper hit from behind by Bruce Murray, the foul on Bruce Murray.
Good defensive play by the Canadians to clear it out of their zone.
They play it quickly down into the American end, and Paul Crumpy knocks it out. And so throwing in right now will be Jamie Lowry, or he'll leave it on the sideline, and actually throwing in will be Norm Odinga. 1-0. The United States in the lead. The goal came in the first half. Ian Bridge to Lyndon Hooper. Odinga's shot blocked. Henderson got a foot on that. Balboa heads it out beautifully to Murray. Murray sends it down, trying to catch and running Eric Winalda. Nice move as Washington has the ball pulled away from Mark by Mark Watson. And Chris Henderson has it deflect off his right shin and out of bounds, and Canada will throw in.
The U.S. is counterattacking quickly to try to catch the Canadians flat-footed.
Lyndon Hooper, Dyack squares up on him and kicks it off his foot to Bruce Murray. Murray on his way out for the United States to Winalda, with Washington and Henderson breaking two. And a quick takeaway right there by Mark Watson.
That was a good example of the field making the ball bounce and losing control. Now Murray comes down with the ball. He gives the pass, but he lets the ball play on because the pass was successful to the U.S. player. He will let that play go on even though he saw a foul occur.
Throw in for Canada. Bruce Murray steals away from Hooper. Murray having a very active game. It's good second half, too.
Yes, Murray wants to control that midfield with Peter Vermees and doesn't want the Canadians a chance to move the ball down with impunity.
Down it comes, and Patrick Diat steals a Vermees pass. Jamie Lowry for Canada. Lowry had the header that Miola had to come up with a pretty tricky save on here in the second half for Canada's lone scoring opportunity. Grant Needham cannot take a Lowry pass as it was too far ahead of him. Into the corner, Trichu goes for it. The ball goes out. It belongs to the United States. So Steve Trichu will throw it in for the USA. Jerry Gray to Lowry, back to Gray. Now here's Kaplan. On the left for Needham. Here's Hooper coming out in front of Miola. Locks himself in front of Hooper and takes it away. And quickly gets it ahead to Bruce Murray. Murray looking for Washington. He's got him into the Canadian end. Washington lays a good ball over on the right. Let's see what Balboa does with it. He heads it to the middle, looking for Winalda. And the save by Paul Dolan.
Good sequence of plays set up by Bruce Murray to push it forward to Washington. Washington out to Balboa, and Balboa trying to slip it back to Winalda, who was running onto the ball.
That was about the best thing Balboa could do with that ball because it came up so high off the turf.
That's right. He tried to get it back, and it did come back a bit, but good sequence of play. 50 yards downfield. They moved it very rapidly, and again, counterattacking with success.
Here's Catlett with the ball now to Jerry Gray for Canada. Threw it over here to a vacant near side, and Ian Bridge starts it up for Canada. Bridge, a good midfielder for them. They're playing well in the midfield. Flicks it right side. Now clears the ball over on the right. Long ball in by Odinga on the cross, and that's knocked away, and Vermees takes it back. Actually, I say that Bridge has been in the midfield. He has, because he is actually on defense, but he's been coming forward a great deal. Ronaldo running down the far side. A good battle. And they call the play on an offside, I believe, on the United States.
No, they called a foul against Canada. Ronaldo looked like he had advantage. That's why you hear the crowd booing.
And Ronaldo gets hit hard then on the reset as he gets taken out hard on the play, knocked down off his feet.
Now here they're both fighting for the ball. The linesman signaled for the foul against number 17, Diat. And Winalda did finally get advantage. It's one of those no-win situations for the ref. Then Winalda gets cracked right again on the outside of the box. Now here's Bruce Murray setting up for the free kick. Very hard shot, dangerous. He scored the other night in the last minute against Mexico.
See what he does here. Vermees runs by. Murray lets it go. And the save right in the chest of Dolan.
Left-footed shot by Murray. Good shot. Usually hits it a lot harder with his right. But he wanted to hit it with his left foot so he could bend it in around the wall and maybe sneak it past the goalkeeper.
Hardy and Bridge. And Dolan just conversing with the ball for Canada. They trail 1-0. Second half. United States protecting a 1-0 lead and actually looking to add to it. Humphrey clears the ball down in the left corner. And Dante Washington on the move, shoots on the go, and a save by Dolan. And a corner kick for the United States as Dolan had to come out, and Washington surprised the Canadian defense.
Great decision by Dante Washington, too, on taking the shot. He didn't have any help inside, so he tried to slip one in the near post. Washington also has a big blast with his shots, just like Bruce Murray.
Henderson on the corner kick. Out in front, score! Bruce Murray!
This is the 4th set play that the U.S. has scored in the last 2 games. They wanted to set Bruce Murray and Alexei Lalas on the far post to try to pick up this in-swinger.
Well, the Canadian bench can only take notes on that one. That's how well executed it was. Let's watch it again. Henderson on the corner kick.
Good in-swinger, tight to the goal. Bruce Murray goes up and heads it down. That's one of the big mistakes soccer players make by just letting it hit their head, and it normally goes over. Murray drives the ball down to the keeper's feet and slips in. Good set-piece play by the U.S. on a corner kick. That's the 3rd corner kick they've scored on in the last 2 games.
Well, the other night against Mexico, the scoring tandem was Washington and Murray, and here this afternoon, it's been Washington and Murray. It's a nice connection for the United States. 2 more goals here today, and more importantly now, a bit of breathing room for them as they lead 2-0. I just thought that was very dangerous, only with a 1-goal lead, and Canada just hanging in there that they could get kind of a fluke goal, because really the United States has dominated play. Here's Miola taking the ball from Murray for Kowalski control.
Kowalski's style is not to sit back and protect the lead. They need to score goals if they want to win this mini cup that they have with Mexico and Canada. But more importantly, their style is attack, so you're not going to see them sit back. Kowalski says, push up, keep scoring, keep shooting.
Ball played by Alexei Lalas. Back it went to Tony Miola. 2-0 the United States. Goals by Washington in the first half. And Bruce Murray just a minute and a half ago. Here's Dyak on the run for the United States. And Dyak pushes the ball away from Ian Briggs. Steals. Crosses. Trying to get a forehand on it. Now Henderson takes it just outside the area. Chris Henderson making a move, trying to make a hard move on Norm Odinga. Henderson keeps it alive, but finally falls down, and Odinga plays the ball up, but that's stolen by Crumpy to Dante Washington. You see the United States really flooding the Canadian end right now. Ball right on that end line, waiting for a whistle. We have not had one yet as Washington scraps, and it will belong to a throw-in for Canada.
Well, Hooper did not want to give up the corner kick there, so he was doing everything he could. He was doing everything he could to protect that area.
So they will throw it in, the official telling them to throw in because it went over the sideline rather than on the back line. If it had gone over the back line, it would have been a corner kick. Here's Catlett for Canada. Ball rolls up his arm. Gets it down towards midfield, though. Crumpy heads it. Quickly heads it the other way for Canada. And there's a whistle and a foul on the United States.
Looked like Alexei Lalas just did a little kick in the back on Hooper just to let him know he's coming by.
Substitution coming in, our first of the match right now. It looks like Doug Muirhead is going to come in for Canada, and he would take out Grant Needham. So there is Muirhead coming in, and Grant Needham would exit. Needham was the player early in the match when the United States had a little problem in their back on a certain play. Miola got caught out. The ball had bounded away, and Needham ended up with an open goal out in front of him and tried to dive to get the ball and just knock it in. All he had to do was get a piece of it, man, and it would have been a goal, but the ball was just too far out in front of him. He went over the back line.
He just couldn't catch up to it. That might be because of the fitness level of the Canadian team, and that might be why he's coming out now. Getting a little tired up front, working hard. Canadian coach looking for something to happen. Bruce Twomley wants to push up there, get some more fresh legs in there so that they can possibly score.
So the United States leading 2-0. Lyndon Hooper trying to make the move on Paul Crumpy. Hooper turns. Lowry gives it back over on the far left. They cross for Catlett, and a save by Tony Miola. And he'll quickly, almost like a fast break, get the ball down the floor in the transition game. Winalda and Washington are waiting down there, and here's Eric Winalda. Pushed off his foot on a sliding steal there. Ball is taken away by Mark Watson. Ball right at midfield. Lyndon Hooper for Canada.
The substitution that the Canadian team brought in, Needham, Muirhead, oh. A fellow teammate with Catlett with the 86ers. Now they have 4 86ers up front, and hopefully that combination will make something happen. The 86ers are Vancouver's team in the professional league, love the CSL.
Dalball with a hit on a ball, and it goes high as it sailed on him. He got a pretty good shot there. The United States leads 2-0, and we'll be back to Torrance, California in a moment. Jim Kevin Donovan and Matt Barr with you. Second half here, the United States and Canada. We're at El Camino College in Torrance, California. The United States used goals in the first half and one here in the second half. And Peter Vermees trying to give them another goal in the second half. Shoots and a save by Dolan. Vermees created his own opportunity.
That's right. Vermees has been taking shots left and right. And here was another good opportunity for Peter Vermees. Had the ball just outside the 18-yard line, and he sees the open shot and takes it. That's one thing that you want to have on an attacking team is people who are willing to take that shot. Good shot by Peter Vermees.
And you know, suddenly that shot became even more dangerous because Dolan looked a little flat-footed in goal, and then suddenly it was on a rise and dangerously close that if he didn't get a piece of it, it might go in the top corner.
That's right. And if he had knocked it down, then again, look for Donnie Washington running onto the ball and trying to pick up the loose ball.
There's Paul Dolan, the Canadian keeper, out of the area now. Sends it down. Trichu actually had that ball look like it went off the side of his face and up into the seats. So the North America Cup being played between Mexico, Canada, and the United States. Now, just to recap what has happened, Mexico and the United States tied in a game here on Sports Channel 2-2 as Bruce Murray scored with just a few seconds left. That game tied 2-2. Then Mexico shut out Canada 3-0.
So in the goal differential, the U.S. needs to score one more goal to tie with the Mexican team, 2 goals to win this cup.
And that is all tied in with our World Series of Soccer, which we hope that you're enjoying here on Sports Channel America, as the United States playing the best teams in the world with an exciting schedule of games coming up in the next couple of months. Uruguay coming up, AC Milan, the United States taking on Argentina and Ireland too. All right, the throw in for Canada. Catlett plays the ball ahead. Jerry Gray to Ian Bridge. Bridge starting up. Ball and Bridge go down hard on the field. Henderson scoops up the loose ball. Canadian defender fell. Murray's got room. Works it to the middle. Now he's got definite big room and shoots it over the goal.
Ball bounced up on him a little bit. Murray is not happy about that because he had a good opportunity close in on the goal.
The Canadian defender who went down was Mark Watson.
Now, watch this. When Murray brings the ball back, he's going to have a shot at the goal, and it just bounces up a little on him when he's swinging. It comes on off the outside of his foot.
So a good opportunity for Bruce Murray. He has netted one here today off a corner kick, and he almost had his second of the afternoon. Incidentally, that goal this afternoon for him was the 13th for Murray. As a member of the national team, he is the all-time leading goal scorer for them, for the United States national club. Canada now trying to get on the board themselves. Turning is Norm Odinga into the far corner. Crosses out in front. Catlett got his chest on it. And Miola scurries back to the far post and sees it go wide.
Catlett made a good effort to get to that ball. It was just a little high for him. Now here's USA playing Argentina, another tough team out in Palo Alto, California. U.S. is playing an excellent schedule of teams, and hopefully this will prepare them for the 1994 World Cup, which they will have an automatic bye to get into.
Dante Washington to Winolda, plays it for Vermees, and Henderson's there too. And Ian Bridge came back to knock it back to his goalkeeper. The United States with that pressure up front, forcing dangerous passes by Canada. And they know that if they miss on one, that there'll be a flying white jersey in there to create a scoring opportunity.
That's one of the good things of having the speed of Washington up front with Winolda, because they will follow on to those shots.
Catlett drops the ball off. This is Doug Muirhead giving it back to Catlett. Muirhead just came on. They lose the ball, and Henderson gave it up to Vermees. They went by him. Jerry Gray, the Canadian captain. Look at Winolda, just go to the ball, and he forces the play all the way back to the Canadian end. A tireless worker.
Good pressure by Winolda to force the ball back, give the U.S. defense a chance to regroup.
Now behind the defense and slipping into the corner is Norm Odinga. Crumpy coming up on him, and Odinga shoots it over the crossbar to the far corner. It will go out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for the United States. Wallace to Vermees. That was a good ball by Odinga.
Yes, it was, and Catlett was in a good position on the far post to pick up the ball if he had gotten it back far enough.
Lyndon Hooper handed the ball off to Jamie Lowry. Lowry shoots it down, but there was not a red shirt in sight. So the United States controls. They lead 2-0. they have had, whether or not they win this North American Cup. They have had a superb week, don't you think?
Oh, great week. That 2-0 win against Paraguay was especially good because that's the top team in South America, second best team in the world, the AC Milan, which the U.S. will also play.
Starting out Doug Muirhead now for Canada. Muirhead plays it down the far side, too wide though. Some wind caught it and it goes into the seats. United States looking good here this afternoon. They lead 2-0 over Canada, and we'll be right back. From El Camino College in Torrance, California, the United States holding on to a 2-0 lead over Canada. Goals by Dante Washington and Bruce Murray. Substitution into the match now. It is Nick Gilbert in for Canada. Nick Gilbert, number 10, joins the Canadian lineup now. Their second substitution of the match. They're coming here in the second half. The United States with another crisp move up the field now. Murray to Washington. Boy, they have handled the ball so well. Washington.
Especially on this rough field, they've handled it well. What a lively crowd we have here today, Jim.
Yes, sirree. Crazy George. Down there rousing the fans up. What has become a very cool afternoon out here in Torrance, California. Sun playing hide and seek with the fans. When it's out, it's really nice and warm, but when it goes in, it gets cool. Lawless laid a ball down the left side. That will go out of bounds and belong to Canada.
What little wind there is out there is favoring the U.S. It is at their back, so the Canadians are fighting against that also. They are tired. It's been a long game for them, a long couple of days.
Foul called on Marcelo Balboa. He bumped into Lyndon Hooper of Canada. So Canada will get the ball back. Goalkeeper now, Paul Dolan, will come out and take the kick, sending it deep down into the American end. Trichy battles for the ball with Capliff. Capliff comes away with it, but Lala steals and plays it back to Tony Meola.
Capliff and Lawless are still going at it. Capliff was the Iron Man for the Canadian League in 1988. He played every minute of every game that season. Just a good, strong player. Doesn't like to come out, and him and Lawless have been going at it the whole time.
Drew Ferguson will throw it in for Canada. Delivers the ball, and now Canada trying to get on the board. Shut out by Mexico earlier this week, 3-0. Shut out here this afternoon by the United States, 2-0. And the U.S. even looking for more goals now. Bruce Murray chasing hard on Muirhead and knocks the ball out. Throw in Canada. This is Ian Bridge.
Ian has played an excellent game trying to keep the defense settled down there and make things happen for the Canadian side. He is the most experienced player out there, and he just wants to get the Canadians on the board.
Gary Gray gets it out there for Capliff. He got a head on it and a save by Meola. Leads it down the field, and Meola will try and catch up to it. It's too far out in front of him. It will be a throw-in for Canada.
Alert play by Tony Meola to send the ball upfield because they had a 2-on-2 situation with Ronaldo and Washington.
Ian Bridge now, back with it for Canada to Jamie Lowry. Crosses it now. Look at Washington just take the ball away from Patrick Dion. Gives it back to Balboa. Sends it upfield. Streaking with the ball. And there's the offside this time called on Ronaldo. Could have got him for a handball, and that's what they will get him for.
That's what he did get him for. Now, whether he handed it or not, he's complaining about it. He's unhappy about that call. He thought it skimmed off his chest. Great ball up front by Balboa to Ronaldo. Might have been the shoulder, might have been the upper arm, but if it was the upper arm, it was a handball.
All right, here's Ronaldo again. Gets by his defender, gets taken down, then looks to the official, and is hot, isn't he, that there was no whistle. He is hot.
After the call on the handball, he is especially hot because that was definitely a foul. He was taken down.
Well, we're inside 10 minutes remaining in the match. The United States leading 2-0. Steve Trichy with a good play. Gets it ahead for the United States. And here comes Chris Henderson. The United States really showing that they are the better conditioned team right now. They are running by the Canadians.
That's right. Now watch Ronaldo. He's taken down hard here. He does have advantage of the ball, and his legs are just taken out from under him. Would have been a legitimate foul to call. Here's Bruce Murray off the right foot coming up on a free kick. Scored from about 35 yards out, and from this angle, this might be about 35 yards out.
First a substitution for the United States. Chris Henderson comes out. Jeff Agus comes in. And now we'll deal with Bruce Murray. There's Agus.
Jeff Agus has a big left foot. Watch for him to take some of those left-footed shots.
Murray hits it hard. Dolan saves. Boy, Murray got all of that one.
He certainly did, and he put it to the near post that the wall is supposed to be covering. He bent it around that post. Now watch this ball bend around the wall. Dolan with a very good save.
Well, that ball really almost picked him up. Murray had so much steam on that shot. He gets so much on it.
He has a lot of heat on those balls. I hope he keeps playing soccer and doesn't become a kicker.
Yes, he does. I would, you know, there's a set of uprights right out there behind the goal, and maybe he should take a few kicks after the game.
Well, we won't talk about it with him, that's for sure.
Here's Lyndon Hooper now with it for Canada. Hooper brings it into the United States end. Down it goes to Catlett. Canada trying to get on the board. Lays it down the left side. Running hard is Drew Ferguson into the left corner. Crosses out in front. Tritchu got his right leg on it and knocked it out of bounds. It will be a corner kick for Canada.
Tritchu did a good job there on defensing that cross. And here comes the free kick. Watch it bend around the wall with a lot of speed, a lot of heat on that.
Corner kick now for Canada. Up in the air. Got a head. Racing to get to the ball was Miola. Watson was the player that got his forehead on it and delivers it wide. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a goal kick for the United States, leading 2-0.
Now, even though Lawless didn't get his head on that ball, he didn't let the Canadian offensive man go up for that ball clean. You can't let a man in the defense go up for a head ball clean.
Murray up to get a ball. Gets it, flips it up past Watson to Washington. The battle of 15s. He tried to get the ball out in front. Had a good intention to get it in front to Agus, who probably could have been able to one-time it. He had a flush shot on goaltender Dolan, but they could not make connections there. United States throw in after Canada knocked it out. Murray.
Washington and Murray have shown good field awareness, where Washington laid that ball back to hopefully get Agus running onto it.
The ball goes out off of Marcelo Balboa. And the Canadian bench there, Coach Twomley looking on.
He's not happy with the performance of his team over the last couple days. Mexico really made Canada look bad. They ran them to death, and their fitness or lack thereof showed in that game. Again, they are tired, but with this narrower field, Canadians aren't getting as tired as they did the other night at the Coliseum.
Winaldic back heels a pass, trying to slip it through for Peter Vermees. And the ball comes back to the Canadian goalkeeper, Paul Dolan. 2-0, the United States in the lead, looking to wrap up what will become a very productive week for them with wins over Olympia, Paraguay, a tie to Mexico, a game they led 1-0 at the half at the LA Coliseum, fell behind 2-1, and then tied the game with seconds left on the goal we showed you right at the top of the broadcast by Bruce Murray. And right now, leading 2-0 in the final 5 minutes of this match. Jeff Agus will throw it in for the United States. Paul Crumpy will throw in for the United States.
Crumpy's had a good, solid game at sweeper in place of Clavillo. He has played solid and not really given the Canadians much room to do anything up there.
Starting out now, Jamie Lowry. Down the field it comes. Gilbert takes it for Canada. Sliding play by Tritchu to get back and knock it out of bounds. Let the United States get back on defense now. A throw in for Canada. And in our World Series of Soccer, Ireland and the United States in Boston on Saturday, June the 1st at 7:30. All right, here's Ian Bridge with it now. Bridge moves it right up the middle, and Bridge gets right through 2 Americans, gives it over on the right, and then gets it back, and coming back to knock the ball away was Dyack of the United States in a good play. Now a crossing ball by Canada is played to the side as the United States took some heat there from the Canadians. Walking right through and squeezing through 2 Americans was Ian Bridge to set that whole play up. Here's Catlett turning. Catlett right to the back line, shoots it out in front. Miola knocked it down. Agus tries to clear it out for the United States and does. Everything forward now for Canada, trying to get a goal. Offside Canada as they get the ball into Gilbert. And the play is whistled down offside. Nick Gilbert, a head of the play and offside behind the defense. So the United States gets the ball back. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this one this afternoon. We've had a great week of soccer here on Sports Channel America during the World Series of Soccer coverage. Agus now deflects the ball. Canada's Jerry Gray had it almost, I think it did actually, hit him in the hand, but it was not whistled down for a handball. And back it comes to goalkeeper Dolan. Tritchu steals for the United States to Bruce Murray. Murray lays the ball ahead. Washington cuts in front. He has a goal here today. Now to Vermees. Back to Ronaldo. Tries to shoot. It's blocked. Loose ball. Gray and Balboa battle for it. And Jerry Gray comes out with it for Canada. As Ronaldo was set up on a pretty good opportunity, his shot was blocked, though, and a good block it was by Mark Watson of Canada. Remember, right at the end of the first half, Ronaldo hit a crossbar with a fantastic shot. Here's Vermees for the USA. Gets the ball left, too far ahead of Agus. Muirhead controls for Canada and back plays it to Dolan. And Dolan now deciding what he's going to do with the play as Canada must get the ball downfield in a hurry, but they look, quite honestly, a little bit tired here this afternoon. You heard Matt mention about them really preparing and getting themselves in condition to play and getting set for their outdoor season. And the United States, you can just see, is just a step quicker. If only just one step. Here's Bruce Murray. To Ronaldo. Now flicks it to Murray, back to Balboa. Marcelo looks things over. It goes to Agus. Now Tritchu hits it on the goal. Ronaldo stops it. Ronaldo turns with it. Ronaldo now back to Agus again. Agus will shoot. That hit a body out in front. And he's cleared away by Canada. The United States just setting up shop in the Canadian box. Crumpy battles Catlip. Catlip using that size, but Lawless is back to steal for the United States, and he's got a burst of speed. Lawless ahead to Washington. That's headed away. Canada back with it now. Jerry Gray sends it up, and we have a whistle and a foul. Well, congratulations to our most valuable players. It's time to announce our World Series of Soccer Mars Milky Way most valuable players. First, from Canada, Ian Bridge, and a great game he played. Number 5 in red, Ian Bridge, and our congratulations to him. Quick shot, Miola, hard save. And puts the ball out of bounds. Great save by Miola. So there's our Mars Milky Way MVP of Canada, Ian Bridge. And from the United States... Hey, Trumpy, come on! Our Mars Milky Way MVP from the United States national team is Dante Washington. Ball is cleared out in front. There you see Washington with the goal against Canada in the first half. And our congratulations to him. Congratulations to both players. Mars Milky Way will make a charitable donation of $1,000 on behalf of these two players to youth soccer in the United States. Mars Milky Way, a proud sponsor of the U.S. national team. Just another way Mars Milky Way makes life a little sweeter. Dante Washington, we heard so much about him as we went to Tampa Stadium last week that he had a great week of practice leading up to the Olympia Paraguay game, and now all of a sudden we see what Coach Kowalski was talking about as Washington has been superb, hasn't he, Matt?
Dante Washington has just played 3 good games, made himself felt right from the get-go with his speed and strength. He's well deserving of this award, and it's a good problem to have here deciding on the MVP when you have so many players who are playing well. The triumvirate in the middle with Murray, Vermees, and Balboa playing so well, and especially controlling the midfield today.
All right, so there it is. It's a final now. Tony Miola has his second shutout in 1 week's time. The United States with Dante Washington getting a goal and Bruce Murray scoring in the second half, and the United States shuts out Canada this afternoon here in Torrance, California. The final score, 2-0. The United States wins over Canada. A great week of soccer for them in this World Series of Soccer. For Canada, not a great week. Losses of 3-0 and 2-0, 3-0 to Mexico, 2-0 to the United States. And for John Kowalski, goals, goals, goals. And the United States comes up a winner here against Canada. Down to the field right now, and Matt Barr standing by with a great young player in Dante Washington.
I'm here with Dante Washington on the field. He just won the MVP, scored the first goal. Dante, what did you feel in that goal when you had the ball come across from Alexei Lalas?
It kind of reminded me of the last goal, except this time I scored with my head. I just parked myself out in front looking for a head into the middle for somebody else to put into the goal, and I just put myself there to nod it over the keeper.
Could you feel the keeper behind you? You're not looking at him at that point, but did you peek or could you feel him behind you when you flipped it with your head over him?
Yeah, I know the goalie's coming out at that time, so, you know, just playing the game, you get that knowledge. So I just tried to nod it over him, and that's what I did.
You're working well with Eric Renaud up front. He has to be a pleasure to work with you up there.
Yeah, he is. He's been really helpful along with all the other players, and so same as the coaches. But on the field and off the field, we have a good relationship. We pal around all the time, so it works to our benefit on the field.
Well, Dante, congratulations on the MVP. It's well-deserved. Good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
Back to you, Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. The United States with a 2-0 win over Canada. We'll be back to wrap things up, but first, this regional timeout.